good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. I keep forgetting to turn these lights on. Yeah, so I'm joined here with Inti Campo.
Hello.
We're going to be talking about a few things today. One of the things is, how Bitcoin is going to change government forever. As well, we're going to be talking about basically the Bitcoin purge and what it means for the price of Bitcoin. Because Chris found something out very interesting. Also, before all that, we're going to be doing some TA, and as we do some TA, Inti's got some information that you need to know.
Of course. As always, it's good to remind you people that this video is for entertainment purposes only and this is not a financial advice. You should always do your own research before putting your hard-earned money on the market.
Yes, excellent, excellent. All right, with that said, I have a quick question I'd like to ask everybody before we go into the TA. Do you guys prefer live streams, or would you like just a 10-minute video daily on what's going on and answering a few questions in
Davinci,
the group? Yes.
sorry for bothering you, but the volume is too low.
The volume's too low.
Yes.
Okay, let me just check that.
You
Yes,
say
that's
that
right.
and I just check it and it's true.
That's true. Okay, so let me just turn that. That's odd. Again, something happened here. Test, test. Okay, there we go. That sounds better. Right? Oh, yeah, you're right. It was way too low.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can ask it again for people.
Okay, so how about I've noticed your mic is totally off.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yours is totally off. I'm not sure why. Yeah, yours is. We should have tested that before we.
Yeah, weird. It's too on.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the lights on, but I noticed that there's nothing coming through your mic. Well, you know what? The show must go on, so
Your audio has corona, they say.
exactly. All right, yeah, let's go on with the show. If you guys prefer 10-minute videos or live streams, yeah. So, thank you for all the chats there. I think we're gonna also do a poll, both on Twitter and on this video. So I might pop up a poll here as well. Okay, so let's get on to the TA. Okay, well, wow, Bitcoin is breaking out. I'm like I got caught off guard on this one. I had a short, and we've stopped out at the last swing high. Wow, it's popping off. It looks good. It looks like you know what? The reason why I took the short, I'll explain why here. I took the short with the assumption that it would not W out on the on the 4 hour here, because once it W's out, it's gonna go higher. And I was like thinking, oops, I don't know why it's not centering here. Let me just go auto fit. Wow, that's just horrible. The auto fit sucks. And now we're just like slowly just moving all over the place. Okay, come on. What's going on? What's going on with this thing? All right. Let's do it. There you go. You can do it. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, there's a big juicy W with a breakout level right here. Didn't think that was going to happen, and it did. We broke out, and we're wanting to go a lot higher, so we're going a lot higher. Now, there's interesting evidence to back this up, right? And then we're going to talk about that in a moment. But before we do, let's just go over to the Bitcoin dominance, because the dominance is also saying, hey, yeah, I want to break out here as well. Let's call a spade a spade. This looks exactly like a W. Dominance is going higher, and it's going to break this level very shortly. Once it does, that's moonshot higher. So look for Bitcoin to go to probably even break the last swing high on the dominance and blast through this resistance area like it wasn't there in the next little while. All right. So with that said, right, let's go back to this theory of why we're going higher, a lot higher, in the short term, and then we'll talk about what this hard money of Bitcoin will do to change the political landscape, and Bitcoin will remove the ruling class. Oof, damn! I can't believe I accidentally remove the ruling class and put you in charge. Wow, did not see that mistake in the title until now. Yeah, so so let's go to the to this video from Chris from Crypto, and he's noticed that, take a look, that the bottom here, right, every time the Google decided to do a ban, it was at the bottom before it took off. And I'm thinking that Bitcoin wants to do the exact same thing, right, with the charts here saying, hey, you know what, we got a nice little W here, we want to go higher, right, not go lower. So the only concern is that, that we're headed into, the 61.8, we're headed to this trend line here. We have a lot of upward resistance to blast through if it wants to go and make any kind of significant kind of gains in the short little while, which is before the halvening. So yeah, I mean, this is basically fundamental information that you can use to trade, and if your fundamental analysis lines up with your technical analysis, that really helps a trade out a lot. And we can see that this is a fundamental information that Chris from Crypto has found that supports this nice W that's happening here. And of course, we have the halvening where CNBC and the people in Evolved would love to push Bitcoin higher. So the thing is, right, here's the thing, how I feel about this. Our whole system, financial system, and I did a video on with about Brooksy Bourne quitting the plunge protection team and so forth, and after she was told that fraud is part of the system. And I really think that the people with money who want to get into this market, they'll do some very unscrupulous things, such as pay off Google news medias to do what they need them to do in order so that they can gain an advantage. And in this case, I really think it's to block people telling you about Bitcoin, and in order for them to buy more Bitcoin to take advantage of the price rise. You can't buy Bitcoin if everybody else is bullish with you. So you want to avoid the average person from getting involved in Bitcoin and pumping up the price. So yeah, I really think that this is got to be the case, because you know what, YouTube is not being clear on why they're doing this, right? If cryptocurrencies was a problem, they should just come out and say, you know what, we're having problems with cryptocurrencies. We want to ban the sale and the discussion of cryptocurrencies. And they should do that if they feel that that's an issue, and they shouldn't hide behind algos, saying that algos are just running amok, and they should just come out and say how they feel, and that's fine, right? You can ban Google, and I would prefer that Google come out complete authoritarian and complete absolute. Saying what they want on their platform, and done. Because you can't fight an enemy that's inside your gate. as easily as you can fight them outside your gate and saying, hey, you know what, with the banner and everything, saying, hey, you know what, we're trying to attack you and get rid of you. Well, once it's clear what who the enemy is, it's easy to fight them. If they pretend to be your friend, it's really difficult to say, hey, you know what, yeah, these guys are doing bad, so we're going to do something. We're going to fight them back. But with us just sitting around saying, yeah, it's just a mistake, they're just going to continue doing, they're going to fix it. You know what, it's not really something that they really wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. We're going to continue to not make changes in the direction away from them. And continue saying, oh, well, you know what, maybe this time they'll help us. Maybe this time they'll fix it. Until we repeat this over and over again enough times for us to get fed up with them. And that usually takes a long time. So I do not think that YouTube is doing this by accident. This is on purpose, absolutely. And I've seen it happen before to other channels that I've subscribed to, and that are not related to crypto. And so it's definitely something that they do, and they don't want to come out outright and ban it until there's enough backlash from the actual people, the actual public to come out and ban it, to say, hey, you know what, I want this banned, right? And then they have the support of the public, right? So I'd prefer that they just do it outright first, and then we can make our changes. But they're not going to do that. All right. So with that said, I did a tweet. I'm going to bring up the tweet right here. I don't know why this computer is really slow. I think probably because of my network connection. But I'm going to play with that when I get back later after the end of this show. So anyway, so I did this tweet, right? Bitcoin will make a huge political changes as the people in the bottom know how to work, save, and hodl. Right? I forgot I wanted to say hodl there, but I put hold. The rest only know how to steal to survive. I mean, all this, like, think about it, right? All these guys here, and I noticed a lot of things are broken on this. Like, I had this big icon, my image, my my cursor is not showing up on our view here. But anyways, you can see at the top is the crown, right? Close advisors to the court, right? And business elite, family, army party, state church. They're the next guys in line, right? Then you have the parliament, Congress, party leaders, and stuff like that. But they're all controlled here by the central bank. All these people in the middle, right, are controlled by nobility, right? Parliament, Congress, elites. Now, all of that's controlled by the central bank. Well, what's going to happen with cryptocurrencies, right, is that, and hard money, is then we're going to move right to the side here and finally control all of these people in the middle, right? That's what's going to happen over time. It's not going to be overnight, but slowly, that's what's going to happen. All the people at the bottom, right, the net taxpayers, individual firms and stuff like that, small businesses, right, the serfs at the bottom. Once you have hard money, and because you know how to save, right, and you're not one of the thieving class, right? Because the thieving class, you know how they tell you don't feed the bears because they won't know how to survive on their own. Well, the same applies to the thieving class, right? They only know how to survive by stealing. That's it. There is no other option for them. They can't survive any other way. And so because of that, their wealth, even if they buy Bitcoin ahead of us, right, that will eventually drain away down to the bottom class because they don't know how to save it, how to hold it. They'll spend it away, and it will spend it right into our hands. And that's a bonus thing, right? Because you know what? You know how Rothschild once said, "Let me issue the control of the nation's money, and I care not who writes its laws." Well, now I'm saying, give the nation's population control of the money, and those citizens has more control over the government than votes. That's me. So, got your Bitcoin? So, save your Bitcoin, stack them sats, because that's coming, right? And teach your children that as well, because that's very, very important for the future. That, hey, if we have a fixed monetary system, a fair monetary system, we control the government, and the government does not control us. And that's very important, especially in these times when we have a virus and the government is telling us what to do, and we should be deciding what to do when it comes to our own personal health, safety. Yes, this virus is dangerous. Yes, this virus is real. And by the way, there is absolute proof. I've seen absolute proof that, well, not absolute proof, because you know what? Nothing. I'm not going to give it 100% absolute, because just like in 9/11, how buildings, though that building 7 fell through on itself because of fire, right? There's probably about 0.001% chance that happened because of a fire, and we should do some study on that, but because it could be possible. Right? And so we should figure out why, because we don't want buildings coming down on people in the middle, right? Because of a fire. And on top of that, with the virus, you see the virus is a family of viruses, right? They're all the same, right? And all of a sudden, in the middle of the SARS of the current virus, there's a little piece of DNA area that was cut in the middle and separated and stuck in. And I'd like to know how that got there, because this never happened naturally in nature. So we should study how that's possible in nature. It's so incredible, man. If you want to see that video, I posted it up on my Twitter profile. Just head over to Twitter, right? It's an interesting video. It explains exactly how this current virus is just one big fraud after another. Now, I'm not saying that they actually released it on purpose, right? This could have been an accident. Oh, man, I don't know why it's a little slow here, so I'm not going to bring it up. But anyways, let's see here. Let me try again. Yes. Are we gonna show up on my video profile? No. All right, so I can't do it. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with my computer systems here. Alrighty, so yeah, with that said, let's go on to the questions and answer period.
Oh, that was quick. Okay, so we have a couple of questions here, very interesting. And
what about that one question you had yesterday that you wanted to ask?
Okay.
Before the end of the stream,
Yes. Wait a second.
do you remember that one or no?
Now I do.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh yes, this is from Craig Mackey. I guess. Sorry. How did you first hear about Bitcoin, and why did you thought this was a good project?
Okay, that's a good question. Excellent question. What happened was, it's a twofold thing. What happened was, back in 2009, I was getting sick and tired of watching everybody getting bailed out, and I actually decided to try and build cryptocurrency. Right? I wasn't going to call it a cryptocurrency, but a digital currency that would be allowing people to just transfer wealth across the internet. It's like cash, because I knew that we couldn't use gold money anymore, because they'll just do the same thing, right? And then as I was doing the research, I found out that, you know what, this has been a computer science problem that many people have tried to solve and many people have failed at, and so it was considered to be impossible to solve. Where you would solve the double spend problem of a digital asset. And so I actually did not do a lot. I should have just kept pushing at it. I just, read what scientific papers were written about how they tried so many times and failed, and I was like, okay, well, You think that I could come up with the answer? Probably not. So I gave up on it. I wish I just kept persisting, because then I would have found Bitcoin a little bit sooner. but but I did not. I dropped it. And then I heard from one of my YouTube subscribers, "What do you think about Bitcoin?" And I thought, well, dude, a digital money, I know that that's not possible, and I'm going to show you how that's impossible. I'm going to read through the source code and prove to you that that's not possible. And so when I read through the source code, read the white paper, and understood what was going on, I realized I did a video saying, every once in a while something comes along that makes poor people rich because they bought it for cheap. This is one of them. I was completely shocked. And because I knew that something that was considered impossible was invented, right? So it was a no-brainer for me, right? And so at this point, if you're watching this video, you have no Bitcoins, and you don't understand at this point that Bitcoin is an invention that was thought to be impossible, and you don't got any, something's wrong with you. All right, next question.
All right, before the next question, I wanted to point out that we have 657 viewers in the stream right now. So thank you, people, for your support. And if you want to continue supporting Davinci, please consider leaving your like. It's free, and we highly appreciate it.
All right, well, thanks. Next question.
Next question then. So this is from Leroy Harrison, and he asked, if the Bitcoin goes to 10.5K, will there be a huge drop in price? Do you think that we should sell after halving?
That's a good question, right? Usually it is that's the case, right? So buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. Honestly, I think that if you're buying, you should always have a hodl position and a trade position. If you're going to trade, that's fine, but just make sure that they're separate from your trades are separate from what you're saving from the long term. So, for example, if you're willing to risk like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, put only $1,000 into the trading, but at the same time, you should hodl your 2 or 3 Bitcoins and not bother buying and selling and try to like finagle the market in order to see if you can finesse the market so that you can see if you can earn some more Bitcoins in your hodl position. Don't try that. You will lose every time. So just dollar cost average, take your time and buy into the market over time, and trust me, you'll do well if you do it that way over just trying to jump into trading, because that doesn't work out for most people. All right, with that said, I just want to talk about Pandora's wallet, right? If you're interested in Pandora's wallet, right, you will get a 50% discount on the 3-month subscription, and you'll have access to our Telegram group where we discuss trades and so forth, and also you get to see you have access to see what I'm buying in all the different altcoins and so forth, and see my portfolio. So if you're interested in that, you can go there to www.pandoraswallet.com and purchase your subscription today. I suggest you do so before this goes away, because a lot of people are upset because they missed out on that once in a lifetime opportunity to have complete access to the Telegram group forever, and now they have to, renew their subscription. All right. With that said, also, if you want to support the channel, you can head over to femex.davincej15.com. Links in the description below. If you're interested in trading these cryptocurrencies, but remember, I just said what I just said before. Don't do it. Don't do it unless you want to do a small amount and you know how to trade. But also you have Bybit if you want to trade as well. But if you do want to trade but don't know how, I suggest you head over to the Rational Investor, right? And you type in the rationalinvestor.davincej15.com, and you'll get $50 off the first year's courses at the Rational Investor, and you'll learn that everything that I've been saying I got from these guys here. So you will become a better trader if you take those courses. All right, next question, Inti.
All right. So this one is from a gentleman with a name that's basically just a key smash, so I cannot pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
And he asks, Davinci, a month ago you said there will be a crash on a big exchange. Which one?
A month ago, I said there would be a crash on a.
Yes. He also mentioned that you say the Never Cryptos channel. Do you remember?
There's be a crash and the big change. What?
And in a big exchange.
Big exchange. I don't remember that, but if you could just remind me, if in the comment section, I will keep a eye out. If you could just write the video and the time index, the title of the video, and the time index where I said it, I will go check that and respond to your question, because I'd like to know exactly what I said and what was context, so that I can answer that question. I'd love to answer that question. Okay. All right. Next one.
This one is from Kev Allen, and he asks, how many people are working on Pandora's wallet?
Oh, right now, not many. Right now, it's just as direct developers, is me and Luis right now. So there's just two of us right now. Over time, I'm hoping to get a few more developers over time, but right now it's just the two of us. Exactly. And so that's why it's a little bit slow right now. So bear with us, right? We're a little behind on the adding Ethereum, but we will get there. All right, next question.
This one is from Cody Gilles Pine. He asked, are you positive Bitcoin isn't the ruling class's new one world currency?
Okay, so yeah, that's always been a concern of mine, of course, too. But here's the problem with that, right? Every time I look at I feel like that this might be one of their scams, right? And I look through the source code to find out what did I miss? Did I miss something? No, I didn't. This is open, and so does everybody else is looking at this. Is saying, so all the other developers are saying, yeah, what am I missing here? What am I missing? And there is nothing to miss, right? It's all there. You can decide if it's going to work, whether it's true or not, because you could read it all. Unlike the financial system, like, for example, do you know for sure that the Federal Reserve is manipulating gold, right? No, you don't know that for sure. This is most likely. How do you know? Well, there's several pieces of evidence, right? One, they said in the past when gold was rising up against the U.S. dollar, that next time they need to manage gold. And now, today, gold is highly managed. It's not perfectly managed, but it's done very well. They have like certificates, right? They've been charged multiple times for charging people storage fees and not having the gold. They've said that this is industry standard practice. They've if you look at the quat report, you can see that they're allowing for net shorts, massive net shorts on the banking side. Are you aware that you do not go to jail if you were to go 100% short on all the assets? Let's just say you went and said, you know what, I have enough cash here to go short all the gold that exists in the world. That's legal. That is absolutely legal. Now, if you were to go long, just 5% of all gold in the world, you'd go to jail. Just 5%. So, obviously, right, that clearly shows that you are, that this is being manipulated, right? I mean, not clearly, but you can see that there's a lot of evidence built up to say that it's manipulated because it's not open. They're not saying, they don't have like a clear document process saying, hey, you know what, we're doing this, we're in the gold market doing this and doing this and doing that, right? Because we want to do this, want this to happen, right? Whilst Bitcoin is open and clear. It's exactly how the monetary policy, what it's doing, it's clear for everybody to see. You can read it and make sure that's the case. And yeah, the only kind of conspiratorial thing that I could possibly come up with is that the NSA built this to see if their encryption really works, because the bitcoins that Satoshi made, right, are basically a honeypot, right, to prove that their encryption works, because they're not moving. They're not going to move that, and they're just waiting for somebody to solve the encryption and move them. And so, yeah, that's one conspiracy theory that I'm willing to entertain. But you know, it's really difficult to believe that the NSA would destroy their main source of survival, which is the dollar. Just seems like silly. All right, next question.
All right. This is from Pete's Boys, and he asks about your favorite cryptocurrency. You think that XRP could have an explosion like in 2017? Is that realistic?
Yes, it is realistic because one, it's cheap. Two, the people who support it are very good marketers because they managed to convince the public and a lot of YouTubers out there, right? Like the Rational Investor, not the Rational Investor, sorry, the Modern Investor, right? His channel, he's like an XRP clone, right? Army clone. I mean, it's just unbelievable how he's totally convinced that this is decentralized. This is they can't change the blockchain and they don't control it. So it's ridiculous. I mean, if Iran decided to use this money to transfer wealth, that they would be stopped immediately. And to say that there wouldn't is just ridiculous. It's just a joke that you actually think that. I mean, so many people have provided evidence and shown the source code and shown you, and they're like, the XRP army is like, no, it's not possible. I mean, come on, the code is available for everybody to read. Like, get real, right? It's not decentralized. They have control over it. They can take your money, period, and let it go. That's the way it works, right? And the reason why it works that way is because the banking system needs it to work that way. And so it will be supported by the banking system. Or, well, not it will. It's just that I think they have the amount of support from wealthy individuals. They have a lot of big backers, and they're working very hard with the banks so they can get in underneath the banks so that they can use this as an underlying layer for the banking system, because it supports everything that they need. It could do very, very well. And that's why I have some, right? it's a risk, right? Of course, the banking system could have rejected altogether, and that would be that. But but if they don't reject it, it will do extremely well, but not for the long term. It will eventually collapse, or you will lose money on this thing in the overall scheme of things one day. So because the currencies are going to collapse now, if they can always pivot this thing to use in other ways. So who knows? Let's just see what the future holds with XRP. I will hold some, right? If they get lucky, I will benefit from that. And if people continue to support their slavery by supporting XRP, that's fine too. I'll also make money as well. All right, next question.
Next question. This question, I loved it because even if you're a professional, you feel this. And this is a super chat from guess who? Super Google Lee.
Yes.
And he said, please tell me how to resist the urge to sell when I'm holding, but see that there is a clear dump ahead.
Yeah, it's always a difficult thing to do when you think there's a dump coming, and then all of a sudden that dump happens. You're like, oh man, I should have sold, right? Yeah, you feel like that all the time, and really you don't need to. You know what? If you want, right, you could separate your hodl position and your trade position, and then you could dump the trade position and see if you can get some more Bitcoin. But don't ever touch the hodl position, because you know what? You don't know for sure. You don't know for sure that's going to happen. And so you want to hold that position so that you don't have to like buy back in a FOMO should prices go against you, or should you even not. What's worse is what happens is you are right. What happens is the worst thing is when you're right and the price dumps, but it doesn't dump as far as you think it's going to dump. You hold off, you don't buy back, and then it comes right back up at you, and it goes higher, and then you end up buying at a higher price. That is the most likely scenario that's going to happen, even when you are right and you do sell your hodl position to buy back lower. You end up not buying back lower because the dump is not as low as you thought it would be, and you held out too long before you actually ended up buying back in. So yeah, that's why I don't suggest you sell your hodl position at any point in time. Just trade, take a small amount and trade that, and not your hodl position, because you're going to be wrong most of the time, especially if you don't know how to trade. All right, next question.
Next question. So this one is from Leroy Harrison again, because I like it a lot. He said, I want to thank you, Davinci, for all you do. And he asked, don't you think that if Bitcoin is only 21 million in supply, that scarcity is infinity for Ethereum? Isn't it a red flag?
Scarcity is the scarcity for Ethereum is infinity, and you're thinking that they're going to grow forever and ever and ever. Well, Ethereum will be instituting a burning process. I forget how. I remember learning about it a few weeks back, and I thought that was interesting, as well as so that their production is, they're always getting new coins, but there's always burning as much coins as they're getting new coins. Just as a way to reduce the amount of inflation. So that'd be interesting if that gets implemented. And I don't think, even if it doesn't get implemented, keep in mind Ethereum is not here to be money. It's here to be a contract-based system, allowing you to transact with contracts on a blockchain, right? And have programmed in contracts which are Turing complete, right? So it's a completely different animal from Bitcoin. So don't consider it something like as money, right? It's more of even though yes, Ethereum is used like money to run the contracts, it's just a means of ensuring that the contract is not running for free on somebody's computer, right? So just there has to be some sort of cost basis to avoid overusing the system or using the system in an unprofitable way. All right, so one more question and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, so this one will be a little bit off topic. This one is from Editor Graces Crespo. I hope I pronounced it correctly. He said, "I noticed you quit smoking. Any advice to do that? You did it overnight, from one day to another. Thanks for your wisdom."
Yes, if you the way I did it, right, and I'll be honest here, I've fallen off the wagon a few times here and there, but I've always gotten back off. And the way I did it is that I used the easy way to quit smoking, right? If you let me just see if I can bring it up here and show you. It's really the easy way to quit smoking. There we go. And here, I'll switch computers. There we go. So Alan Carr, easy way to stop smoking, and I used that method. I got the video and I read the book, and it was like easy. It's easy. You can cut it off from one day to another once you go through this method, right? And it has a high success rate. So whenever I've fallen off the wagon, I just read through the book, and it was like, oh my God, instantly, like you stopped, right? So very good stuff, right? I think it works for me. It doesn't probably not going to work for everybody, but it worked great for me, and I haven't gone back. And so and you know what? Every once in a while, I'd like to go through this book because I do still have this feeling that I need to have a cigarette every once in a while, and if I just go through that book and read through it again or listen to it on an audio tape, I automatically go, okay, well, I get my strength back to not smoke because it's so easy. Right? It's so obvious. Like, hello, why would you want to do that, right? And because it's so easy, it's not funny to quit smoking. So, yeah, try that out.
Yeah, I should try that out. I believe you.
Exactly. You should definitely try that out.
Yeah. Thanks to Anthony that gave you £5, not Libra donations. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Well, let's just go with one more question, but this time something in with the cryptocurrency world.
We need the cryptocurrency space.
Yes.
Okay. A simple one.
Yes.
A simple one. This is from Kev Allen.
Mm-hmm.
And he asks, "What are the certain times of the day? Are there certain times of the day when it's best to trade crypto?"
Yes. Yes, in the morning. Well, if you're in Eastern Standard Time, which is like New York time, approximately 6 a.m. Now, this time changes with the of course the seasons, right? With the daylight savings time, so it moves from 6 o'clock, right? From anywhere between from 5 and 7 and 8 a.m.
If you're interested,
that's the window at Eastern Standard Time. Now that moves with your daylight savings time, so keep that in mind. That's when the best time I've noticed is to trade. What's up, Inti?
if you're interested in what I've seen, at least in the last range we were in, the highest volatility, or at least when the market went to extremes and paint the structure and all the signals that I look for, always happens like around 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. UTC -4. That's what I've seen. Where UTC +4 or -4 here in Chile?
I mean, yeah, there's been some days that you'll find that some days during the middle of the night and when the Chinese markets are going, it goes. But the most you'll see if you pull up the history of charts, you'll see it dates back way back when I first started that it always is that window is more often than not. Like I'd wake up and go to the gym. For the last 7 years, I'd been waking up at 5 in the morning, and then I'd see my alarm, my phone, as I'm working out, my phone would go off and be like, what the heck? The prices were going crazy, right? In the early mornings times is generally where I would see things move massively. Doesn't mean your trade setups would show up at that time. Maybe your trade setup would set up earlier on in the night, like between 12 and 4, but then the actual action would come in after that. So yeah, that's where you'd see the most volatility and the most of the time. All right, well, thank you everyone for watching. All right, I really appreciate 742 people watching this video at the same time today. And if you haven't seen the video popping up here, please check it out. And thank you again for hitting the like and hitting the subscribe button. Cheers.
Bye.